In this tutorial, I'll be making pictures and panels using the single image option, which is in the layout style. This is a strange name because we're not using one single image, we're actually using multiple images. But that's where we're going to start. In the next session, we will be looking at custom packages. The first thing to do when you're making panels is to go to the page setup, specify the size. So in this case, I've got A3 landscape, which will be fine. Obviously, we can make this portrait if we wish or change the size. Say OK to that. I've chosen single image up there, so I can close that up now, get that out of the way. Now, I've chosen 3 along here, and I'm going to go to the layout palette and increase the columns to 3. So you can see we've now got 3 along there. Now Lightroom fills the pictures automatically. You can't change that. In this particular way of doing things, it's automatic from the film strip. Now I'm going to click Zoom to Fill, which is in the Image Settings panel. That means I now fill the shape. I'm going to increase the cell spacing, so that gives you the separation. We've already got a panel of sorts. I'd like to increase the margins here because this is a little bit tight around the edge. So I'm just going to put them all, let's say about that. So I'm going to type the numbers in, 2 centimeters all the way around. And I'm going to put the cell spacing at 2 centimeters as well. Okay, now we can change that, but that gives us a quick panel. It's usually good to stroke the border. In other words, put a line around the outside. So we can do that here. And we can choose the color. So we can have a black or a white, or we can click into the colors, drag the mouse across into the picture, and it will pick up the color. And you can see it changing as you go along. So I'm going to put it in that dark brown. Now I can just adjust it. And it's usually, you have a pretty fine line, but it is a matter of choice really. You can have a strong one if you wish. I tend to prefer a fairly fine line. Okay, so we've got that now. If I want to change the order of these, I can't, because they're in the order which they are there. So the only way to do that is to click one, move it, select them again. Now it's in a different order. So in fact I will put that back where it was. And there we are. So we could do that with different pictures. So if we have a look at those next ones, I'm just pressing the Control key. And you see they don't have to be consecutive. And another 3 here. 1. I'm holding the Control key down. 1, 2, 3. So the pictures work that way. So it's all very straightforward. When you have made a panel like this, it's a very good idea to save it as a template. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put that back to black in this case, because black is a fairly common colour. But actually I usually make it grey, so if we put it there, it's now a dark grey. And to make a template, you click this button up here, and in fact I'm going to make a folder. Okay, and I'm going to call that folder Panels. Create that one. And this particular template, I'm going to call it 3 panel on A3 landscape. And there we are. So that's the one there. We have various options. Let's go back to those original 3 there. I quite like to have those on a black background. So let's go down to the bottom here to the page panel, page background color. So now we've got it black. Again, we can change that. Click in there, we can have it any color we like. A nice, beautiful puce color. Yeah. But actually, we'll leave it on black. Having done that, the black stroke no longer works. So let's now change that to white. And making it perhaps a little bit wider now, it separates it quite well. So we may want to save that as another panel. So we're going to save that as a new template. This time we're going to call it 3-panel landscape on black. So we've got white, black. The idea of this is that you only make it once. Whenever you want another picture with 3 panels like that, just press the button. Then you can change it, of course. So if you want now to have 4, so I'm going to have 4 of those, we can make it into 4. And if we want the cell spacing a little bit less, we can do that very easily. So really most of it is done in this section here, in the stroke border, the layouts. And don't forget the zoom to fill, because if you don't have that filled, they will retain their original shape ratio. But in this case, but on the other hand, of course, you might like it like that, because it's just another way of doing it. Okay, we can also change the tops and bottoms here. So if we want to, oops, not that one, top and bottom border, and we're going to put it back to 2, left and right, back to 2. We'll put those to 5, and that one to 5. Widen the cell spacing a bit. So there we've got an alternative. Now I don't think you need to save all these variations, because once you've got a few set up, you can change this pretty simply. If I want to rearrange those, I showed you a few moments ago. Now that's fairly simple. I can put that there, select them all. That one's now in the center. I can also rearrange them inside here simply by clicking on it with the cursor and moving them. But what happens if you have a lot of them? So I'm going to use these pictures from here. I'm going to choose about a dozen of these. 12, okay. And we're going to have move the margin to 0. We're going to have 3/4 of 12 there. So I'm going to move the left margin and the right margin in a bit. In fact, I'm going to make this 15. Add another 3 on. 1, 2, 3. There we are. So 3 5s of 15. They will probably fit better. Now I'm going to keep them square, because I would like them square. Maybe I'll add a few more in as well. 1, 2, 3. Make that 20. There we are. Okay. So now the borders can go in, and we can arrange the columns, or rather arrange the spacing to look right. Move the bottom up a bit, top back a bit. Okay, so there we are. If we don't stroke the border, they're all put together as a block. If we keep the border as black, they can be like that. So you see, it's a matter of working your way backwards and forwards down these controls in order to get the exact image you want. If we produce that as a panel, we could easily crop that in Lightroom, so we don't need to worry about the extra space around the edge. Now, we've got a panel there, but what happens if we want that one in the corner there, or that one in the corner there? It's not very easy, if we've selected these from a whole range of pictures, to identify those afterwards, because once I deselect one, I've got to go back and find them all. Now there's an easy way around this, and that is this option here called Create Saved Print. And what this does is saves the template, saves the photographs, and makes a new collection of them. So I'll click that there. Going to give us a name. So put bubbles times 20. Create, and that's down here. So now we only have those bubbles to play with. The advantage with this is you can keep this for a future time and it remembers both the pictures. So let's just go off and do something else for a moment. We've got the different templates there. I go back to bubbles times 20, select them all. There we are, that's where we left them. So now I can have that one there. Let's just do that. So we click on, now to find that one, click on it, and it then becomes in the center there. And it's highlighted slightly, not very clearly. I want to put that along there. Let's just see how that is. Nope, that's still not right, is it? So, is that one I wanted to move? Select all. I select all here. Control A is the easy way. You have to deselect them first before you can move them. Okay, there we are. Now then, there's a little point here is because I've actually got 25 images here. I say it was 20. The panel is only 20, so it means there's a second page. Okay, so you need to watch this, because if you put quite a number of pictures in and you don't realize you've selected a lot and then go to print them, that can be a problem because you will print page after page. So just be aware of that. In this particular case, I'm just going to select the first one, select 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so now I've got 25 there. There's no second page. Okay, we're going to have a look at the print job first of all. Now the default here is printer. So if you want to print them, then you have printer up there. You choose various options down here, press print, and it prints. Okay, I'll do a different tutorial on printing sometime. But at the moment, we're going to choose JPEG, because generally speaking, what I do is to produce them as a JPEG, then I print them. Of course, I may not print them. They may go to Flickr or Facebook or anywhere else you want to do. But the advantage is you've got the original panel intact, so you can reprint it anytime or go back and change it. Put the JPEG in there. Various options down here. File resolution, that defaults at 300 ppi, so it's best to leave it at that. Print sharpening, I leave print sharpening on. Now, you have the option of low, standard or high. I will leave it on. It never over sharpens it, but it keeps it nice and crisp. And media type, it doesn't make a lot of difference. I leave it on glossy. JPEG quality, it's going to be output as a JPEG. So I always put it at maximum quality. We'll come back to that in a moment. Color management, you can choose whatever you want there. I use Adobe RGB, and intent I leave it on relative. So what we do is print to file. I'm going to call that bubble panel. Save. Okay, and you can see up here it's preparing it. It can be a few minutes because it is handling 20 big raw files. So if you've got a slow computer, it may take a few seconds. The more pictures you have, the longer it's going to take. Pretty much done. Now what we can do now is we can go back to library. It doesn't reappear in Lightroom. So we have to go back to library and synchronize it. So I'm just going to synchronize that folder. So that's the one there. And that's the picture there. Now what we can do with that one, if we wanted to print it or send it away, is just go to the crop tool, like so, crop. Now it's ready to send out. Right, let's go back to our print module. We've got a few other things to look at first. I'll select a few pictures there. Right, I'm going to just go back to make a portrait picture now. Page setup, portrait. Okay, so now we've got a different shape. I'm going to put 3 pictures on this. I'm going to put 3 by 1, 3 columns, 1 row. I'm going to put them Move the margins to 0. And I'm going to take off the keep square. There we are. Okay. So, left and right. I want to push that up from the bottom to say there. Top. And adjust the spacing slightly. Now, in addition to making it like that, we can also add a title. So we've got Lightroom here. It's rotated 90 degrees at the moment. So we can move that around. We can resize it. And of course, we can edit the wording. So click Edit. And we can backspace to get rid of that. And we can put, let's put Abstract. Abstracts. We can change the font to whatever you have on your computer. And we can have it italic and a different size there. We can also change the color. So let's put it on a red. Okay. Now, that's clever, isn't it? So it's gone black on black. So in fact, let's just override the color here. And put that to red. There we are. So we can move that around, make it bigger or smaller, like so. We can also change the opacity here. And we can scale it. Okay. And we can also rotate it, not that you'd want to in this particular one. No rotation. There are options to render behind image, render on top of every image. Never found a use for that yet, but I guess someone must want to do it. Okay, so in other words, you can make designs like that. Now, the final thing about this section here is the custom file dimensions. Now, you use this if you want to have a specific size file. Why would you want to do that? Well, for instance, I use it for blur books. The number of layouts in the blur book section up here are fairly limited, so I often make panels myself. I would make those fit the size of the page of the blur book I was doing. In this case, let's just make it square. So we can say it's 20 centimeters by 20 centimeters. So now we've got a square image. Let's get rid of that abstract identity panel. 0 the margins again. Say 2 by 2. 2 by 2. Maximum size. Select the other one. So now we've got a panel of 4 on the square, which is a very useful one to have. So again, we could perhaps just adjust the margins a little bit. Let's make that 1 centimeter, and let's put these 1. Probably a bit too large actually, but never mind. And let's stroke the border with white. So again, we've got a white part. Now we can save that as a template. So in this case, we'll put it into our panels folder and called it 4 square. So we've got 3 on black, 3 on white, 4 square. We should call that 4 square on black actually. So we right click that one, rename 4 square on black. Let's just have a bit of fun with some other pictures. So if I just select a load of those. One. So there we are. We can have a nice panel there. Or alternatively, we can go the other way. 11 by 1. And put the width there. So you can start making all sorts of fun panels. playing with these and basically having a lot of fun doing it. Hope that's been useful. Let me just show you a few panels I've made here. So these are some A3 panels I've made. Vertical triptych, 30 landscape, 35 vertical, 56 squares, 100 images square. That's a custom one, we'll come to that later on. I've also made a number for blur books, so these are blur landscape books. So these are pictures which, just put that one in there, 3 landscape on white. So these will fit the blur book. Now the next section, as I say, will deal with the custom package, which is a bit more complicated, but nevertheless is fun to do. Thanks very much.